Today we're going to talk about some residential framing, you know?
Back at the Somerville project again, and today we're going to start working on the roof a little bit. So, roof load behind me. Adam is buttoning up our loose ends on the exterior, and I'm starting to get our roof shaken out. So, let's jump into it. Picking up where we left off, ceiling is as done as we're going to make it for right now. We've got all of our hangers in against the ledger, and we stopped about 4 feet shy from either side. So next up, we've got these two big LVLs, 9.5 by 22 feet. Those are going to be the hip rafters. Those are returnables, and then this is the rest of our roof load. So I tried to order as close as I could exactly what we needed. So hopefully all of my cutoff scraps will be less than 2 feet. But basically we've got, I'm already starting to shake out our first rafter. This will be a common rafter. I think I have 4 of those total. And then I need 2 ledgers. So that's what these 16s are for. And we'll step it down to 14. We'll have 4 of those. We'll have one on this side of the hip, one on this side, one on that side, and then one on the far side. And then so on and so forth. We'll keep stepping down in size until we get to 8s, and then the 8s will fill in everything that's left. So we're going to start breaking these guys down. First thing is I'm going to make up the easy ones, our common rafters, and then I'm going to make up our ledgers because they'll be very similar to the common rafters. And then we'll get our ledgers hung all the way across and down. And then we can work at making sure that all of our measurements are correct to cut our hip rafter. Once our hip rafter's in place, then we can do some math and start cutting all of our jack rafters. So let's jump into it. We've got a 2x8 rafter that we're working with. We're doing a 412 roof on this one, so we've got our 412 cut at the top. Down a little ways, we're going to have kind of a larger bird's mouth. We're going to actually kick this into the ceiling a little bit, leaving 4.5 inches on the heel here, and then we're going to do a 16-inch overhang for the soffit. So this is 14.5 inches past the sheeting, so that when we put on our 2x6 sub fascia, everything should shake out really nice. The reason that we're doing this little bit bigger cut is because we want to clear the window trim above, and we're going to be really close to it, so I wanted to have enough room to get baby tins up there and wrap everything correctly so that those windows don't have issues down the road. So that's why we lowered the heel height a little bit, and our bird's mouth is a little longer. Traditionally, what we like to do is if we're framing on a 2x6 wall with 1/2 inch exterior sheeting, I like this leg of the cut to be 6 inches. So it would be probably somewhere down here. And then that would actually give enough room for the 2x6 to sit here without needing to snip off the top of the 2x6 ceiling joist. So that is our layout. I'll get these guys made up and stacked up, and then we'll move on to the next step. We've got a pretty healthy start on the rafters here. So 2 of these are going to be ledgers, 4 are commons, and then these are going to be jacks, 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 and I'm not going to start cutting those until I know for sure what lengths we need. Next up, we're going to notch out, I think you can probably see if I look through the window. We are going to notch out the ledger right there. And we're going to hang our ledgers going up to do the roof, and then we can verify the hip rafter measurement, and then we can cut those out of the big LVLs. Plenty of scraps here, yep. And then once we have those, we can start plopping in all the jack rafters and then sub fascia and sheet it. Got a nice cover sheet platform to work on up here. First set of boards is up. These are our ledgers, so this kind of sets the pace for the rest of the roof build. We've got our overhangs on these as well, so it'll make doing sub fascia really easy on these. This is our ridge board, if you will, which is one size over, so that by the time we have our cut face on it, we end up with 2 inches plus. Next, we're going to hang these 4 boards. These are all of our commons, so we're going to hang one from here. We're going to hang one from here, and that'll create a nest position for the hip rafter. And then we're going to send our 2 commons up on either side of our ceiling joists to kind of follow in suit with the rest of it. So that's the next step, and then we'll be able to verify these long hip rafters. So typically, when you want to make your, what do they call that, a cheek cut up top?
Cheek cut.
You would mark where you want to cut it, and then you mark half the thickness of the board in either direction. So in this case, 7/8 of an inch. And you cut your first line one direction, then you turn around and you cut your other line the second direction. So you can do all of it from the top, and it'll give you this nice 45 on either side. But unfortunately, with a 7 1/4 saw, it's not quite enough to get through both sides. So that's why Adam had to finish up with the Sawzall, which made a nice jagged cut. But it's fine, it's a roof system, so cut it up. Roofing day 2. Got the GoPro over there so you guys can laugh at me taking my time making sure that our math is right. I'm currently sitting on a bunch of our math, but we should have figured out our formula so that we can start chasing all the... Yeah, the 8s were just for whatever down here. So if you cut the little baby guy out of it, you should be able to flip it and cut a bird's mouth and whatever rafter end out of the other side and get another one. So anyway, we're going to start here. We're going to start working our way up the hip here. I think I forgot to account for maybe like 2 16-foot boards and maybe 2 12s. I'm not sure exactly yet. So we're going to fill in this side, and then I'll get the couple boards I need to start filling in that side, maybe at lunch or something. But anyway, a couple marks, a couple things to lay out so that hopefully now we are in the clear. We find that if you take a few minutes to get things laid out correctly to start, you should be able to cruise right along once you know what the common formula is. So we're going to lay this side out. We're going to start chasing it up. We are also going to just send our jack rafters down that side. So That way we can cut two of the same at the same time. The only difference is one will have the 45 this way and one will have the 45 the other way.